While rent, food, and gas get more expensive, so does the cost of debt.
More Minnesotans are falling behind on their credit card bills and turning to credit counseling for help. Derek James talked with one Metro woman who's using a debt management plan to dig out of debt.
When Barbara Scharf of Maple Grove got laid off from jobs twice in 12 months, she turned to credit.
I used my credit cards just to save my cash because I didn't know when my next job was going to start, which is a little bit scary.
The payments on multiple cards became unmanageable, reaching over $20,000.
When your interest payment is like $100 and some, so then I'm like, I'm not making a headway. And that was a huge reality, and I'm like, I need to do something different.
A friend suggested Money Management International, a nonprofit that offers financial education and debt management plans.
By working with the client and the creditor, we can get the interest rates down, usually at around 7%. In order to make most of that payment go towards the principal rather than interest.
MMI worked with Barbara's creditors to reduce her average interest rate from over 27% to under 9%.
They tell you exactly what your payment plan is going to be, and then they draft it from my account and pay the creditors every month.
For those who do enter into a debt management plan like Barbara did, there are some small fees involved. MMI says its average client spends a little more than $20 per month, but that cost is offset by the interest savings.
On average, our clients come to us with about $20,000. Actually, it's now almost up to $30,000 in unsecured credit card debt over, on average, about 7 accounts. So you can imagine the interest that's being accrued on those accounts at a 25% interest rate, for example.
Not paying that huge interest made a huge difference to make the gains, and it's definitely worth it.
In 10 months, Barbara has paid off over half of her $20,000 debt. She uses any extra money she has to pay down the card that currently has the smallest balance, the debt snowball method.
I have one card that's actually getting paid off this month. I had one that got paid off 2 months ago, which is super exciting.
Thanks to a little help, she's now looking forward to the power of becoming debt-free.
Well, I'm excited to build up my savings account again, increase my 401k at my employer, and just, focus on retirement.
When you start a debt management plan, whether it's with MMI or any other respected nonprofit credit counseling group, your credit cards are closed. In the short term, yes, that does negatively impact your credit score, but MMI says after paying down all of the debt, its clients typically see a score increase of about 84 points.
And we know that people are needing credit cards or leaning on credit cards more and more, the middle class families and people under 30.
Yeah, so let's start with the middle class. What they're seeing is, in the past, it was folks that had under the median income for where they lived in Minnesota. Now they're seeing a huge increase in people who have above the median income. So that is a sign that inflation is really taking its toll. And then with younger folks, what they're thinking is a lot of kids post-college are dealing with those student loans. The pay isn't keeping up with inflation either, and that's why they're turning for help.
This part surprised me. I think you emphasized it when you said like a good establishment like MMI. So there are scammers out there or bad nonprofits?
Yeah, so you'll hear folks that are going to try to get you into bankruptcy, or they may have some sort of plan where they're going to say, don't pay it all right now. And the idea is that, okay, eventually they'll settle for pennies on the dollar. You may have even seen ads for that. Those are going to lead to really damaging your credit for much longer than doing something like this, because remember, you're still paying all the money you owe with a plan like this. It's just you're not dealing with the huge interest rates.
Got it. Good tips here.
Yeah, very helpful. Thanks, Derek.